In the previous video, we taught our chatbot how to ask the user a question, wait for an answer, store that answer inside a variable, and then use it in a response. So our chatbot can now speak, listen, and remember one piece of information. But there is still something important that it cannot do. Until now, it cannot make a decision. Simply put, it cannot choose its response based on your input. In this video, we are going to change that. We are going to teach our chatbot how to look at your answer and choose how to respond. But before we start typing and coding, we need to understand what a decision is by looking at a very simple example from everyday life. Imagine that you are getting ready to leave your house. Before you walk outside, you look through the window and ask yourself one simple question. Is it raining? If yes, take an umbrella. Otherwise, leave the umbrella at home. The question, is it raining, is called a condition. A condition is simply something that can be checked. In this example, the condition can have one of two results. It can be true, meaning that it is raining, or it can be false, meaning that it is not raining. If the condition is true, you follow the first path and take the umbrella. If the condition is false, you follow the second path and leave without it. Computer programs can make decisions in almost exactly the same way. We simply need to write those decisions in a form that Python can understand. And that is exactly what we are going to make our chatbot do. Instead of asking, is it raining, our chatbot is going to ask the user how they're feeling and then decide how to respond. For now, we're going to keep the decision very simple. If the user types sad, the chatbot will display, I'm sorry to hear that. Otherwise, if the user types anything else, the chatbot will display, tell me more about that. Let's open the same Google Colab notebook that we used in the previous video. Once you have it open, click plus code to create a new code cell. Inside that cell, type the lines exactly as you see them on the screen. Pay particular attention to the spaces at the beginning of the two print lines. Those spaces are important, and we're going to explain them carefully in a moment. Before we run the program, let's understand what every line is doing. The first line should look familiar because it works in the same way as the code we wrote in part 2. The word input tells Python to display a question and wait for the user to type an answer. The question is the text inside the quotation marks. How are you feeling? When the user enters an answer, Python stores that answer inside a variable called feeling. If the user types sad, the variable called feeling now contains the word sad. If the user types something else, such as tired, the same variable now contains the word tired. The decision begins on the next line. The first new word here is if. In actual terms, the code is asking, does the variable called feeling currently contain the word sad? After if, we have the variable called feeling. This is the information that the code is going to examine. Then we have two equal signs. This is very important. In the previous video, we used one equal sign to place information inside a variable. That single equal sign basically means, take this information and store it here. But two equal signs ask a question. They mean, are these two things equal? So when we write feeling followed by two equal signs, followed by the word sad inside quotation marks, we are asking, is the information stored inside feeling equal to the word sad? We put sad inside quotation marks because it is ordinary text. Finally, there is a colon at the end of the line. The colon tells Python that the instructions belonging to this condition are about to begin. Now look carefully at the next line. You can see that the print instruction does not begin at the left side of the cell. It has been moved slightly to the right. Those spaces are called indentation. Indentation means placing spaces at the beginning of a line to show that the line belongs to a particular section of code. In Python, indentation is not merely used to make the code look neat. It changes what the code means. The indented print line belongs to the if condition above it. It tells Python, if the condition is true, run this instruction. By convention, Python programs normally use 4 spaces for each level of indentation. Fortunately, when you type the colon and press enter in Google Colab, Colab will usually add those spaces automatically. Now, if the user typed sad, the condition is true, and Python runs the indented print instruction. The chatbot will therefore display, I'm sorry to hear that. But if the user typed anything else, the condition becomes false. Python skips this instruction and continues to the else section. The word else means otherwise. And this is important. Otherwise means anything else. Notice that else is aligned with if. It is not indented because it is the second side of the same decision. We also place a colon after else because another group of instructions is about to begin. Underneath it, we have another indented print instruction. Because this line is indented, Python knows that it belongs to the else section. Now let's run the cell. The chatbot asks, "How are you feeling?" This time, type sad, all lowercase, and press enter. You need to remember that Python compares text exactly. The word sad with a lowercase s is not considered the same as sad with a capital S. The code follows the first path and displays, "I'm sorry to hear that." Now run the same cell again. This time, type tired and press enter. This time, the condition is false. The variable contains something other than sad. Python skips the first print instruction, moves to else, and displays, "Tell me more about." Notice what just happened. We did not change the program between the two tests. The code stayed exactly the same. But the user entered a different answer, so Python followed a different path and produced a different response. That is what it means for a program to make a decision. But real conversations usually contain more than two possibilities. A user might feel happy, sad, tired, angry, or something completely different. Right now, our chatbot only knows how to recognize sad. Everything else follows the same second path. So in the next part, we will teach our chatbot how to recognize several different answers and choose between more than two paths. I'll see you in part 4.